Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Daily English Whisper. I'm really glad you're here today. My name is Alex, and I'll be your English guide. This is a calm place. A friendly place. A place where English conversations feel possible. Today's episode is dialogue practice. This is a listening and speaking routine to help you build daily conversation fluency. In this episode, you will listen to simple, real dialogues. Not fast. Not dramatic. But natural conversations you can imagine in your own life. Many learners tell me something like this. I understand English, but I don't know how to respond. Or, I know words, but conversations feel scary. Or, I practice alone, but real dialogue feels different. If you feel this way, you are not alone. Conversation is the hardest part of English. Because conversation is alive. It moves. It changes. You don't control it. And that can feel uncomfortable. Many people believe a myth. They think you must be confident before you speak. They think you must know the perfect answer. That is not true. Conversation skill grows inside the conversation, not before it. Here is the central idea of today's episode. Fluency grows when you practice simple dialogues again and again. Not complex ones. Not perfect ones. But real ones. Today, you will hear short dialogues. Two people. Simple situations. Everyday moments. I will guide you gently. I will pause. I will invite you to repeat. You don't need to speak fast. You don't need to sound perfect. You only need to stay present. You can listen first. Then repeat softly. Or repeat only in your mind. All of this counts. This is not a test. This is practice. So take a slow breath. Relax your shoulders. Let your mind open. We are about to begin your daily conversation practice. Now, before we begin the dialogue, let me explain how this practice works. Today, you will listen first. Then, you will repeat. Slowly. Comfortably. You don't need to remember everything. You don't need to answer perfectly. Your job is to follow the conversation. Imagine you are there. Imagine you are one of the speakers. This is how conversation becomes familiar. I will read a short dialogue. Two people. A simple situation. After each line, I will give you time to repeat. You can repeat out loud. Or quietly. Or only in your mind. All of these are good. Let's begin with the first dialogue. Two people meet in a small, quiet place. Maybe a hallway. Maybe a shared space. Listen carefully. Person A says, "Hey, do you have a minute?" Now repeat slowly. "Hey, do you have a minute?" Good. Person B answers, "Yeah, what's up?" Now repeat. "Yeah, what's up?" Very good. This is a very natural exchange. Short. Friendly. Open. Let's continue. Person A says, I just wanted to check something with you. Repeat after me slowly. I just wanted to check something with you. Good. Person B answers, Sure, go ahead. Now repeat. Sure, go ahead. Nice. Notice something important. This conversation is simple, but it feels real. People use these lines every day. At work. At home. With friends. You don't need big words to start a conversation. You only need familiar phrases. Let's pause for a moment. If this feels a little slow, that's good. Slow practice builds strong habits. Now, let's talk about the real question behind dialogue practice. Why do conversations feel so hard? Many learners say things like, I know what I want to say, but I can't say it. Or, I understand the other person, but I don't know how to answer. Or, my mind goes blank. This happens because conversation moves step by step. And many learners try to jump too far. But good conversation is built with small moves. Short questions. Simple answers. Gentle reactions. You don't need long sentences. You don't need clever ideas. You only need to keep the conversation moving. Now, let's continue the dialogue and practice that idea. Listen carefully. Person A says, I wasn't sure if now was a good time. Repeat slowly. I wasn't sure if now was a good time. Good. Person B answers, It's fine. I have a moment. Now repeat. It's fine. I have a moment. Very nice. This part of the conversation does something important. It creates comfort. It lowers pressure. Let's continue. Person A says, I might be overthinking it. Repeat after me slowly. I might be overthinking it. Good. Person B responds, That happens. Now repeat. That happens. Excellent. Notice how simple that answer is. 2 words. But very natural. You don't need to explain everything. Sometimes, short responses are perfect. This is an important lesson. Conversation is not about saying a lot. It is about responding naturally. If you ever feel stuck, remember this. A short response keeps the dialogue alive. You are not failing when you speak simply. You are doing it right. Take a slow breath. We'll continue building this conversation together. Now, let's continue and add a little more depth to the dialogue. This part shows how people share small concerns in conversation. Nothing dramatic. Just everyday thoughts. Listen carefully. Person A says, I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page. Now repeat slowly. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page. Good. Person B answers, Yeah, I think so. Repeat after me. Yeah, I think so. Very good. This kind of exchange happens all the time. At work. In daily planning. In simple conversations. Let's continue. Person A says, there were a couple of things I wasn't clear about. Now repeat slowly. There were a couple of things I wasn't clear about. Good. Person B responds, okay, let's take a look. Now repeat. Okay, let's take a look. Nice. Notice how calm this dialogue feels. No pressure. No strong emotions. People are not trying to sound smart. They are trying to understand. This is very important for real conversations. You don't need perfect English to communicate. You only need clear intention. Short sentences. Simple ideas. As you repeat these lines, imagine the situation. Two people standing. Talking calmly. Trying to understand each other. That imagination helps your brain remember the language. You are not just repeating words. You are practicing real interaction. And that is how conversation skills grow. Let's keep going together. This part shows how people respond, clarify, and stay engaged without stress. These are very common moments in daily conversations. Listen carefully. Person A says, I wasn't sure how to bring this up. Now repeat slowly. I wasn't sure how to bring this up. Good. Person B answers, no worries. Take your time. Now repeat. No worries. Take your time. Very nice. This response is kind. It creates safety. It tells the other person it's okay to speak. Let's continue. Person A says, so, from my side, everything looks fine. Repeat after me slowly. So, from my side, everything looks fine. Good. Person B responds, yeah, that's how I see it too. Now repeat. Yeah, that's how I see it too. Excellent. Notice something important here. Both people are not saying much. But the conversation feels complete. They agree. They understand each other. They move forward. Now let's add one more small exchange. Person A says, I just wanted to double check. Repeat slowly. I just wanted to double check. Good. Person B answers, I'm glad you did. Now repeat. I'm glad you did. Very good. This kind of dialogue happens every day. In offices. In shared spaces. In normal life. You don't need special vocabulary. You don't need long explanations. You only need simple, clear lines. As you practice, notice how your answers feel more natural. Your mouth moves more easily. Your mind feels calmer. This is exactly how daily conversation fluency is built. Now, let's continue and bring a little change into the dialogue. This part shows how conversations adjust and move forward when something is not clear or when plans are flexible. Listen carefully. Person A says, I might have misunderstood something. Now repeat slowly. I might have misunderstood something. Good. Person B answers, that's okay. It happens. Repeat after me. That's okay. It happens. Very nice. This response is very common in real life. It removes tension. It keeps the conversation friendly. Let's continue. Person A says, "Can we go over it one more time?" Now repeat slowly. "Can we go over it one more time?" Good. Person B responds, "Yeah, let's do that." Now repeat. "Yeah, let's do that." Excellent. Notice how simple this exchange is. No long explanations. No pressure. Let's add one more moment. Person A says, "I just want to make sure I've got it right." Repeat after me slowly. "I just want to make sure I've got it right." Good. Person B answers, "You're on the right track." Now repeat. "You're on the right track." Very good. This kind of dialogue is very important. It helps you ask for clarity. It helps you stay confident. You don't pretend you understand everything. You communicate honestly. As you practice these lines, notice something. You are learning how to repair a conversation, how to slow it down, how to keep it comfortable. These skills are more important than perfect grammar. You are doing real conversation practice right now. Take a slow breath. Now, let's continue and bring the dialogue closer to a natural ending. This part shows how people close a conversation politely and leave the door open. These moments are very important in daily life. Listen carefully. Person A says, "Thanks for taking the time to talk." Now repeat slowly. "Thanks for taking the time to talk." Good. Person B answers, "Of course. Any time." Now repeat. "Of course. Any time." Very nice. This exchange is simple, but very powerful. It shows respect. It shows appreciation. Let's continue. Person A says, "I'll follow up later, just in case." Repeat after me slowly. "I'll follow up later, just in case." Good. Person B responds, "Sounds good." Now repeat. "Sounds good." Excellent. Notice how natural this feels. No stress. No pressure. Let's add one more closing moment. Person A says, "All right, I won't keep you." Repeat slowly. "All right, I won't keep you." Good. Person B answers, "Thanks, I appreciate it." Now repeat. "Thanks, I appreciate it." Very good. These phrases help you end conversations smoothly. You don't disappear. You don't feel awkward. You leave the conversation feeling calm. As you repeat these lines, imagine yourself in real life. At work. In a hallway. In a shared space. You are not trying to impress. You are simply communicating. And that is real fluency. We are almost at the end. Stay with me for the final part. Now, let's slow down and look at how this kind of dialogue practice fits into your daily life. You don't need long conversations. You don't need special partners. You don't need perfect situations. You can practice dialogue in very small moments. For example, you are walking somewhere. You imagine someone says, "Hey, do you have a minute?" In your mind, you answer, "Yeah, what's up?" You don't speak out loud if you don't want to. You just imagine the exchange. That still trains your brain. Another moment is when you finish listening to a podcast or video. You choose one line from the dialogue. Just one. For example, "I just wanted to double check." You repeat it slowly. Once. Twice. Then you imagine the response. "I'm glad you did." This kind of practice is light. It doesn't feel like studying. It feels like rehearsal. You can also practice while doing simple things. Making coffee. Waiting in line. Sitting quietly. Short dialogues work well because they feel real. Your brain understands them as interaction, not exercises. And interaction is what builds confidence. You don't need to memorize everything you heard today. Your brain will keep what it needs. The goal is familiarity. When a similar situation appears in real life, your mind will say, "I've been here before." And that feeling is powerful. Conversation stops being scary. It starts to feel known. You are not preparing for the future. You are training for real life, step by step. Take one more slow breath. We're ready for the final part. Now, let's bring everything together and gently close today's practice. Today, you worked on dialogue practice for daily conversation. You listened. You repeated. You followed real exchanges. You learned that conversation is not about perfect English. It is about staying present, responding simply, and keeping the dialogue moving. You practiced how to start a conversation, how to clarify, how to respond, and how to close politely. Here is the quiet truth of today's episode. Listen carefully. Fluency grows when conversation feels familiar, not frightening. Say it with me slowly. Fluency grows when conversation feels familiar, not frightening. Every short dialogue you practice makes the next one easier. Even if you don't notice it right away. You don't need to speak a lot. You only need to speak a little, often. Let English become part of your daily interactions. Even in your mind. Even in small moments. You are not waiting to be ready. You are becoming ready by practicing. If this dialogue practice helped you, you are always welcome here. You can subscribe to Daily English Whisper and keep building confidence step by step. I'm Alex, and I'm proud of you for practicing today. Truly proud. Keep listening. Keep responding. Keep trusting yourself. I'll be here with you. Goodbye for now.